recruit. I know exactly about the levels of where to go and how to get to bring people in and stuff like that. I may be saying it wrong, but I'm a bit nervous right now.
Hey,
Uh,
no,
Scarlett, you're
it's
doing great.
saying all the right things, all the
You're
right
doing great.
things on the fly too. I love it.
it's
And,
just
and
it's just like before you say anything, and I do apologize. What I love about this company so much is that I get to see the CEO. I There's a lot of companies that do not like the. It's like when you said on that video when I took the training. Oh my God, like you said it, you was on point. There's a lot of CEOs are not dedicated to bring their people in. And you went out your way every single day on YouTube, on everything. I'm telling you, I have you all over the place and I'm learning from you directly
mm,
Love it,
because of the fact
Rosangela.
that like Miss Ebony Palmer just recently became the number one seller and I was just happy. Like I thank you
well,
guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you
thank
so much.
you. And McGuire, I know there's other hands up. We're going to get into the
Yep.
live and we'll take
Yep.
questions at the end, of course. So, folks, if you have any other questions, you can type it in the chat. But we'd rather you pay attention to what we're going to do here. If you have a question about enrolling, you wanted to enroll before you come back, whoever referred you can text them real quick. They can give you their link to get enrolled. But again, you can enroll after we're done here is what I'd encourage because we got some big stuff we want to talk about tonight. And by the way, thank you for those kind words.
You're
I don't know
welcome.
that I don't know that I said other CEOs aren't involved, but I think what I said is I love being involved, but I don't know. I'll have to go look at that. And maybe, and all I can say is, we do have a well, a lot of people they start companies because they have a heart to help people and they want to make an impact before a commission or a dollar. I don't mind making money, but I don't really even pay attention to that. I really don't. I do pay attention to our company profit, but I'm paid in the pay plan. I don't get a salary in this company. I earn my way up to the 80%, just like everybody else does. And I do earn overrides on a lot of clients because I earned it and I earn very well, earn more than I'd pay myself in a salary, but I earned it step by step by step, the same way you can. And that's why when I talk about clients and being neighborly, and I've talked to bank managers who sniff you out if you're trying to make a commission. I've watched people talk to bank managers and they're coming across wrong. They've got commission breath. They don't really care about helping that bank's clients. They want to get commissions from those bank's clients. They want to get referrals from that bank manager. And instead, man, if you can experience what a business owner who can't buy their kids Christmas presents, doesn't know how they're going to make payroll, is running low on inventory, still has to go make the eggs, still have to show up and make sure the bathroom's clean. And they don't know. And while they're doing that, they're always also thinking about how am I going to cover payroll on Friday? I hope they get a bunch of big tips this today because I hope I get big tips today because I got to cover payroll. That's a business owner's reality. 6 in 10 are breaking even or losing money. 6 in 10 business owners in America today, where you eat sushi, where you get your hair cut, where you get your car worked on, 6 in 10 are breaking even or losing money. It doesn't matter if they've been there 10 years. They've bought a job, most of them, unless they've got multiple locations or that owner doesn't have to be there. They bought a job and they want to get out of that job. They want to hire and grow and expand and get to the point where their systems allow them some free time. If they've got to work Sunday, they don't want to. If they've got to work Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, they don't want to, but they will because they're brave. They're different. They're the front line of capitalism. They employ America. I have a heart for them. And when you experience me saying that, that's real because I've been that. I had to sell a horse that my wife raised from when we were kids in college. We bought a horse. I'm remarried. I've been married to Marlo 23 years, but my high school sweetheart, we got married. We bought a horse in college and I had to sell it. We had to sell it because we couldn't afford it because I was a business owner. And I was either pay the team, pay the mortgage, or pay the horse board. We had to sell a horse that she trained and had for that breaks my heart. All I got to do is think for 1 second about the day I told her she had to sell her horse. That's all I got to think about. And I'll talk to more business owners. I'm not here to make a commission. I'm here on a mission. And if you want to help that mission go local, be neighborly, help business owners in your town, not just some cyber commission world that exists. I'm not saying you can't build something online. I'm not saying you won't get some clients who see your social post and click on it. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying more than anything is, if you can experience what a business owner has to go through and empathize, and then others can experience that you're actually thinking at, you'll get referrals. You'll have more clients and you can shake a stick at. That's all I got to tell you. You won't have to talk to as many people. You just got to get the word out and they got to feel that you care. The rest is history. If you know a good auto mechanic that you know wants to help take care of people, and you know they're going to say, hey, you don't really need anything right now. All that wrong was, your battery cable was a little loose. I fixed it. You don't need a new this, that, and the other. You go, thank you. And the more you meet a good auto mechanic that you care about, you want to refer them business, right? Just be that. Just be that in the business funding space. So if that came across in the certification, that comes out all the time. This is not rehearsed, right? This is what we believe. But we're going to get started on tonight's meeting. I want to share my screen. We already did start. Are you streaming this, McGuire?
We are. We're live.
Okay. All right. Let me get the slides going. Then I'm going to share my screen again. And I'm going to find the right presentation page here, which is... I know I told you you're going after the launch, McGuire, but you're actually going to go after the local market area because you're supporting the local market. January monthly meeting, moving my agency to the next level. That's what you're here to do. All right. Announcements first. Okay. Good news is we like to do a monthly meeting and we have some things to talk about. Here's some new announcements. We got a funding special in the month of January right now. Hopefully you've already heard about this. We emailed everyone. It's growth funding for gyms and health clubs. Gyms and health clubs, just focus on the left-hand side. Gyms and health clubs, that's the brochure. It's in your resource center. And what they get is, it says in red there, January funding special, higher approval amounts, lower lender fees, or lower repayment costs. One of those combinations. All right. So either lower lender fee, the upfront fee, or lower repayment costs, the total payment. One of those two things they're going to get, and it's going to be significant. And so if you know any gyms right now, this is the time. We've got a broker memory jogger in your resource center as well. January, it's in the Facebook group. I think it's in the resource center. If not, Tyler, can you add it to the broker resource center? I know it's in the Google Drive. This is a memory jogger. Who can you help? Think about people in the gyms, health clubs, yoga studios, sports training centers. I talked to someone today out of the blue. McGuire, you're going to get a kick out of this. I was talking to someone at a gym today, and I asked for his card. I didn't have any cards. I was just meeting. He gave me his name, and his name was Anthony. Anthony, you went to school with his little brother. Don't say his name out loud. And he owns a gym, and he wants to talk about funding. He said to say hello. He still follows you. He's glad to hear we're working together, and we'll talk about that together because he's a friend of yours. But that's a gym owner that's looking for funding, and it's because of this incentive that I reached out to him, right? Keep it local, keep it relational. There's a script there, but this broker memory jogger can help you. These are the type of things we do. We have a special, we take care of people, and then we just have a prompt. Who do you know that owns a gym? I've got 2 out of 7 gyms I reached out to for the first time that are interested in funding. I wouldn't expect that every time, but 2 out of 7 are interested of the people I reached out to. If they can sweat there, train there, recover there, they count, right? So that's your broker memory jogger. Also, we have the swag sale. 35% off all of our DAC and Bank Breezy branded products using coupon code 2026. Our provider offered us this, which is great. Get your hat, get your shirt, get your mugs, get your bags, whatever it is you want to get in the swag store, go ahead and grab it. All right, new resource center. Sorry, that's not centered there very well. We got a brand new broker resource center. If you go to DACRC, it now takes you to the resource page inside the LMS. It's all in one place now. It's all in the LMS. You can go check it out there. LMS is Learning Management System at dactraining.com. That's where you get certified. And it also is where all the resources now are now. If you want to see funding brochures, you would click on business funding in the top middle. If you want to see team building training down there, if you want to see the merchant stores, click there, right? So print shop for ordering brochures, which are now, we've got all the Bank Breezy brochures now in the print shop. So they're going live today or tomorrow. We've updated them all. So that's good news. So brand new resource center. We also have more courses in the LMS. You don't see these until you're certified. Once you're certified, you then get the pay plan short clips. You get the business funding training courses, and you get the agency expansion training series. Those are available once you are certified. Of course, being certified first is what matters most. Get yourself certified first. Okay, we have the support bot and ticket system. So ticket system we have right in your back office. You all get a free back office, complimentary, I should say. We paid for it. You don't have to. But in that, on the bottom left there, you see it says agent support. If you click on agent support, because you're logged in, you can fill out a ticket system. That's faster than emailing support. If you email support, sometimes we have to verify that you are who you say you are. If you say, I have a question about my commission, we got to verify it's you before you ever call into Verizon, and before you can get an answer, you've spent 3 minutes just verifying who you are. You call your credit card, you spend 5 minutes just verifying. We have to do the same thing. We can't give private information out without knowing we're talking to you. So the easiest way to get your answers is through the ticket system by being logged in first in the back. That now we know you're behind the curtain, if you will. You're already logged in. Also, DAC broker support bot. That's at the bottom of the resource center. But what this is, it's growing in its knowledge. If it doesn't know the answer, it says, sorry, I don't know, contact support. But we've been trying to stump it now for 3 weeks, and we've only found a couple ways to stump it. And it's usually not even a sport related question. So if you use it, like, what do I earn on my third level? How do I get qualified to earn my 70%? What do I got to do to change my email? Where do I change my member name? How do I do that? Who's my enroller? All these different things you can ask the bot, and it's 24/7 and it answers accurately. So we're not asking you to use this instead of live support. Frankly, our team loves talking to you. It gives us good feedback. So we like you talking live to us and emailing live. We like that. But we also don't want you to wait. You email us at 10 o'clock. We say, hey, we'll get back to you as soon as we can tomorrow. But by the way, you might be able to get your answer right here in the bot, and we give you the link. So it's live. If you come up with a question it can't answer, please let us know. We'll train it. We'll educate it. It's provided by ChatGPT. We've got a GPT with them. And this continues to build out. So again, future improvements. I will say as well, our business funding team at Bank Breezy's grown. We now have a stall team. We have a renewal team. We have a larger paper intake team. Do you know that about 40% of the packages, when they upload the statements, aren't complete? You know that? They upload the wrong bank statement. They upload transcripts instead of bank statements. They don't upload every page. They upload just the first page. Whatever it may be, they upload a bank account that says ABC Plumbing, but on the bank account or on the application, it says ABC Inc. And we go, wait a minute, the application needs to match the bank statements, or they don't put their date of birth on something, or their social security number, whatever it is. Our internal team, 40% of the packages, we have to work them manually to get all the documents, to get everything. So even though it's supposed to be automated, and it is, we need a team internally. You don't have to pay that team. We're covering that team, all that staff, right? And so the good news, or our partnerships are. So we've got some partnerships that with our team that supports our clients. So it's really spectacular. We're taking care of your team, and everybody talking to your clients, presenting the offer, is not paid on commission. You don't have to worry about them hammer closing somebody. Now, will they show the value? Are they trying to get a yes? Of course. But if someone is not the right fit, they're not going to talk them into it. If someone's not the right fit, they're not going to tell them they're crazy. If they can charge more, they're not going to just because they can. We've got a commission amount we want to earn, and that's it. We don't gouge and increase like a lot of our competitors. But we got a Spanish launch, folks. And for the Spanish launch, the best way is, let's see what McGuire has to say about it.
Hey, DAC team, McGuire Tate here. Listen, super exciting news. David Rutz Capital and Bank Breezy are now serving the Spanish-speaking market. We've got our applications fully translated to Spanish, as well as our websites. We even have a team on standby ready to speak to and serve your Spanish-speaking business owner clients. We also have marketing material and tips ready for you guys to use. You know, we understand that the Spanish-speaking has a lot of loyalty that lies within it, so we're super eager to see who can take charge and really help to serve this market. Now, with that in mind, who do you know that is a business owner that speaks fully Spanish, or better yet, who do you know that is bilingual? They can help out to serve this market and let them understand that DAC and Bank Breezy are now here to serve their business needs.
Dude, that is awesome. Every time I watch that, I get excited. McGuire, great job, my friend. And I'm sorry if the audio was messed up. I don't know if it was coming from my microphone or not, but that video is going to be posted and sent out to everyone to see it. But I thought he explains it a lot better than I do. That's pretty darn cool, isn't it? Why do we want to be in the Spanish market? And how do you get there? First of all, this is only on the Bank Breezy website right now. It's not on the David Allen Capital website. We will be translating the David Allen Capital website, but right now, your clients have to go to bankbreezy.com to do the translation. You see in the upper right-hand corner there, it's got the United States and Espanol flag. That's the Spain flag. If they click Spanish, they go to the Spanish site, or it's bankbreezy.com / boy, I've meant to put it there. I think it's ES, I believe. McGuire, can you look at that?
Yes.
It is ES. Yep. So it's bankbreezy.com /ES / someone put that in the chat, please. Bankbreezy.com /ES / your ID number will take them to the Spanish replicated site. So if you have a Spanish speaking business owner client and you want to send them directly to the site and you don't want them to click that flag, send them to bankbreezy.com /ES / your ID number. Sorry, I didn't type it in there. I meant to, and I failed to. So, who do you know, as McGuire said, who do you know that would want to support this market, or who do you know that is in this market? This is what your website looks like. Your business ideas deserves funding. They click on Spanish. I'm sorry, the Spanish Hispanic site was there behind that one. Spanish launch. So how big is this industry? This is Spanish-owned businesses, Hispanic-owned businesses in America. This is just Hispanic. This doesn't include Puerto Rican. This doesn't include people from Spain. This doesn't include people from Brazil. Hispanic-owned businesses. These are the people doing $15,000 a month. It's about 500,000. There's 5 million Hispanic-owned businesses in America. About 10% of them are doing $15,000 a month and qualify for our Bank Breezy funding. This is who we can serve now, over $15,000 a month. You know, in our regular funding, we can serve as low as $3,000 a month with our Giggle Instant Funding, right? Well, good to know this. Giggle is working on an instant funding Spanish site as well. They were hoping to have it live last week. We thought we'd be announcing it with this. It's not live yet, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon. We don't know when because we're not building it. They are, but they were hoping it would be live last week. So just know that eventually a business owner will fill out their Spanish application. It's all in Spanish. They'll fill out the Spanish application, and if it's over 15,000, they'll fill out a Spanish application and talk to Spanish-speaking brokers support team. They are not broker support, client support team, where Spanish is their first language, so they speak it fluently and understand the dialect. They understand all that. They understand the culture. So we're excited about this because no one's doing this. No one's doing this. 500,000 businesses in America. Again, we're all about helping businesses. There's 4.5 million who will be instant gig funding qualified, but over 500,000 businesses right now. And we've got social posts in the resource center. We've got now available in Spanish. You know, we first tell you about it, and then we're open to serve Spanish-speaking business owners. Social posts. Well, then there's some that are in Spanish. What does it say? No clue. But it tells you that funding's good for businesses. McGuire speaks Spanish, so does Nick and others. But these are all Spanish. They're for Spanish clients, not for me. I don't speak Spanish, but these are written for Spanish clients. They're in your resource center right now. You'll be able to post them to your page, and we're going to be going through how to do that and why you want to do that in a moment. We also have drop cards, brochures. We've got the English base now, but we also have Spanish. Check that out. Front card, male or female. And then we've got of course, the back of the card goes through all the qualifications and everything the same way our English speaking cards do. Pretty down spectacular. I think I'll talk to Tyler about something on the images, the culture of the images. We may want to add some Hispanic people to those, but oversight on my part. All right, so we'll look at some image things there. And with that, we've got our one and only Nick DeHame out of Argentina, from New Jersey, but living in Argentina right now. And we created this video to share with clients. This will be a client-facing video. And before I hit play, McGuire, when I hit play on yours, was there an echo?
I think it's coming from the speakers, so I would just maybe point your mic towards your Mac speaker.
Perfect. All right, I did think it was coming through the computer. I'm glad it is. So here's what Nick has to say to our clients.
Por eso, nos denunciaba anunciar que ahora los de negocios que hablan español. Damos un sitio web, solicitud de línea completamente traducida en español, dedicado y listo para poder apoyar cada paso de esa.
Is there any way to run it back, David? Put your the mic actually next to the Mac speakers, because that's where it's coming out. Almost put the mic up to the Mac speakers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought, okay, so it's not coming through the
further, yeah.
laptop then. It is
Yeah.
coming from the speaker. Okay.
Correct.
En David Rutz ayudamos a los negocios a obtener financiamiento para crecer y expandirse. Cuando los bancos no pueden ayudar, nosotros sí podemos. Y por eso nos entusiasma anunciar que ahora ayudamos a los dueños de negocios que hablan español. Contamos con un sitio web y una solicitud en línea completamente traducida en español y con un equipo dedicado y listo para poder apoyarlo en cada paso del proceso. Con esa misma solicitud rápida, podés acceder a la mejor oferta de los principales proveedores de financiamiento en tan solo un día. Así que estamos muy contentos de poder ayudar y apoyar a los negocios hispanos en todo el país y ser un recurso de confianza para ellos.
Yeah, baby. I saw the script, and we can post the script with it on the video so you know what they're seeing. But the bottom line is they're hearing about the funding, the platform. They're hearing about the qualifications, how we want to serve business owners. And Nick has gotten a ton of clients. He's climbing up the top of the ladder of the 80% spread, and he's near the top. And folks, you know, you've got experience, and you can feel his heart, can't you? That's why he does well, because he feels for clients. He just got another client yesterday, and seems like every week he's getting clients. So here's the launch ideas for you. You may or may not know anyone. You may not have a Spanish market near your house, but if you do, it's time to serve it, because no one else ever has. Did you hear me? No one else ever has. They can go to their bank, and that is it. They can go to their bank, and that's it. But even then, unless they've got Spanish-speaking people or applications that are in Spanish, it's hard to understand. So serve it. And if you don't have an in your area, strategically, you say, who do I know that lives in a high Hispanic area? You know, and who do I know that I could introduce and see if they might be interested in being a broker and helping serve? We've been asked to have this product since 2017, and we couldn't find lenders who are willing to take Spanish applications. We now, Puerto Rico and the United States, Spanish applications. We were just talking to a bank out of Puerto Rico yesterday. Thank you, Tracy Noriega, and introduced us to that bank. And we talked, and they're interested in offering this funding as a referral to their clients in their town that they can't help. Folks, that's how good this is. So that's your Spanish launch. Congratulations to everybody who's helped with that. Nick, thank you for translating the video there. Thank you for proofreading the social posts. Thank you, Tyler and McGuire, for making them. There's brochures as well in the Resource Center. So you'll see all kinds of neat things coming for this. This is just phase one, getting it started. This is what we need to see. We see traction, we invest more dollars into it, right? We need to see some traction to make it make sense. Again, we're a free business, complementary business. That means everything we invest has to come from fundings, right? We're not charging you any fees. So your performance equals more stuff, right? Let's keep it up. But let's talk now. We're going to pivot now into local leadership. Team, I cannot express enough the importance. And by the way, we're going to be talking about our contest tonight, March Madness contest. We're going to be talking about our social media, not social media, social workshop that we're doing next week, but we're going to do a social training tonight on how to help your local clients socially. We're now teaching on it to help support your local live work. And we've got a couple other things up our sleeves tonight. So stick around. But let's talk about local leadership, because what I mean by local leadership does not have to mean that you have a big agency. What it means is you have an intention to help your community. You have an intention to support. And let's say you lived in one town and you moved to another town and you just don't feel like it's home yet. It's okay to support the town back home. Like Nick lives in Argentina now, but he's supporting Jersey where he's from, and he's supporting everywhere, but it's okay. You're just going to have a lot more success if you can go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings. You're going to have a lot more success if you can introduce. The gym owner I talked to today was live in person. He's standing behind a desk, right? I'm talking to him as he's sitting at a desk. We got to relate and have some fun and talk. I didn't even have a business card on me. He gave me his number, wrote it on a sticky note. That's how I knew who it was. And I learned it was a friend of McGuire's, right? In front of McGuire's big brother. So the long and short of it is you'll have an advantage. There's stats have shown it takes 10 times more contacts in a strange market to get clients than in a local market. Okay. So if you want to have success and you're saying, okay, I'm going to talk to 100 business owners, see how this goes, and they're all strangers, it's like you only talk to 10, just so you know. And we encourage you, become the local funding broker. It doesn't take, and we're going to talk about it here, it doesn't take sales skills. They help. It doesn't take finance. In fact, finance can hurt you. It does take an understanding of leverage, that a business getting 10 grand might turn it into 50. They don't mind paying back 15. If you have a mortgage mentality that says, oh, if I'm paying 5%, I'm paying too much. Okay, well, you're paying about 140% for that 5% loan, just so you know. You get 100 grand, if you get 300,000 mortgage at 5%, you're really paying about 730, just so you know. You're not paying 5%. So rates are confusing and it's BS. We go with total cost, but it's expensive if you don't have a need. It's expensive if it's debt. It's expensive if it's not leverage. Of course, no one's going to argue that. I talked to a client yesterday and I said, it's not the right time for you to get funds. You don't have a good enough growth path. There's no reason to get 50 grand if you're not going to turn it into 100 or 200. To turn it just into 50 and pay it back at 60 or 70 doesn't make sense. But if you have ideas, so you know you can get 50, start thinking of what you do with it to turn it into 300, right? And so that creates value in the business owner's mind of, I've got a resource called David Rutz and David Allen Capital and the Bank Breezy platform, who, if and when I come up with an idea, I can get capital. That's unheard of. But the only reason that business owner knows about it is because I educated them, right? So as long as you're willing to do that, you can be a local leader. You just have to care, and you have to want to help you and be neighborly. As my daughter Morgan says, just be neighborly. You don't have to go in and sell everyone, but you have to be neighborly enough to inform them. Do you know that every time a restaurant goes out of business, it's usually because of working capital, and you didn't inform them? Then it's like not giving someone a life jacket who's splashing in the water. Just because they're not splashing doesn't mean they're not struggling. That's a new tagline. Just because they're not splashing doesn't mean they're not struggling. Just because their floors are clean doesn't mean they're rich. So please be the front line of capital for the front line of capitalism. Be the frontline medic team to give capital to that business owner. That's what a local leader is. I had a chamber meeting at 7 a.m. yesterday. I had another one at 2 p.m. yesterday. I had another meeting today. I had one 2 nights ago. I had one at 4 o'clock last night that was canceled. You will not find a more active person in my community now. Not going to happen in my chamber. Not going to happen because I'm now a broker first. Yes, still CEO. But we've got so many things in place. My job is to model the local agency, get 100 to 200 clients a year in my local community just by taking care of them. But more importantly, glow up my town. Give a glow up to my town. Have all kinds of businesses benefited because they got capital from our little company, David Allen Capital. Not Chase Bank. They're not doing it. Right? That's local leadership. So before I go in anymore, do you want to be that? Because if you can be that, you have no competition. Then you and one, I launched this company by calling a buddy and saying, hey, I got a contract with this bank. I'm thinking I can help some clients. Do you want to go talk to some business owners with me? My first client, I was with a buddy. You and one buddy system. Or you and two, then you and a few. Came 70,000 people have joined our company now in 10 years. Again, only 7,000 active. Some of those 70,000 will get active again, but some of you are on today, right? But 7,000 are what we consider active, and that grows every day, of course. But it started with me and one in Michigan. So you can monopolize your marketplace, and that is local versus distance. Local wins because everything I already said. Trust is established faster, relationship convert higher, referrals grow naturally, renewals and stage funding. Banks they'll be pleased to have you. We've got some bank stuff we're going to talk about tonight. Brokers become known as funding experts in their town. You actually educate. The bank and I are doing an education plan for our Chamber of Commerce, one of the banks. Follow-up is easier, more effective. Long-term income is built, not chased. You know how many referrals you're going to get? Renewals. Again, we have renewals. So monopolize your local market by being local. Now, distance can work. You can do national, but by helping businesses anywhere, speed and reach is stronger on a national level, right? But depth is not. So it allows flexibility in remote work. It supports scale when local opportunities are limited. You might live in a rural area. You can do it, but here's what I want you to know. The national funding is a lane. Local funding is a moat. What's a moat? You know, in movies, they have a castle and they build a river around that castle. And they put alligators in it in the cartoons, and they got a bridge across a bridge. That was to protect the king, right? You couldn't get there unless you could swim across the water and climb a tall wall, and there was alligators in the water, right? So that was a moat. A moat in business, as the great Warren Buffett says, is you've got such a competitive advantage, your competitors say it's not worth trying. Do you know what a bank would have to invest to have 7,000 independent brokers nationwide? Do you know what our lenders would have to do to have 300 people? How many? I don't know how many are on here. 300 people on here talking about their funding. They'd have to pay 300 people. And they would also have to hire telemarketing rooms and all that. 300 local. No one in your town is doing business funding. You've got such a competitive advantage. There may be 1,000 real estate agents in your state. There may only be 50 funding brokers. All you got to do is show up most. That's a moat. National efforts create transactions. Local work creates markets. You don't have to choose one, but local focus compounds faster. You build depth. There's roots. Fruit comes from the root. If you're rooted local, you'll be fruited local. You'll have all kinds of fruit. And then you expand underground from growth of other roots. Your strongest national growth comes from multiplying local markets, not by trying to get customers in San Francisco. How about building a brokerage in San Francisco? So your local market, maybe 2 to 4 fundings a week. Oh, let me go back. Your local market. Okay, sorry. I'm going to advance the screen, but I've got to go through the animation. Your local market is about 2 to 4K a week in income off the fundings. 2 to 4,000 per week in overrides. Local markets, how many of them do you want in your team? So you get personal commissions of about 2 to 4,000, and then you get overrides. How many of those do you want in your team? Well, all you got to do is learn how to build one market. Just care. Just care. Show up. Be an educator. Be an informer. Don't be afraid. Just inform and educate. We'll help you get through the fear if you have that. And then duplicate as many markets as you want from there, starting close, and then expand all over the country if you want to. Okay. And all of a sudden, you've got an income producing asset, because all these markets are kicking off 500 a week, 1,000 a week, 2,000 a week, 400 a week, 600 a week. And how do you do it? Number one, lead by example. What am I doing? Why am I going to every chamber meeting? To set the example. That's why. Okay. This is what you got to do to be an example. You got to be certified. You got to go through the funding training, the comp plan training, the daily huddles. Be there all the time, or at least listen to them. I was talking to someone yesterday. He's probably on right now, Mark, out here in Michigan. He works every day at 11:30. He can't be on the huddles without having a problem at work. Okay, no problem. On the way home, Spotify. Jump on Spotify. It's a 10-minute huddle. Listen to it, or listen on YouTube. So then set and work your plan. Set and work your plan. You got to work it though, right? That's being an example, and then climb the ladder. Now, we're going to give you other things to do in your local market to serve it, but those are the steps. Then climb the ladder. Go from certified to GA3, GA5, MGA, SGA, go all the way up to 80% level. Get 20 clients, help them. Now, you need bonus revenue as well. This isn't, you got to have some bonus revenue. You may take 50 clients to get to NMO. We don't know. You got 20 big clients, you'll be NMO. So it depends on how many you get, but climb the ladder is the key. You monopolize your marketplace. So again, we showed this in the broker overview. Anyone you enroll, you're making 4%. So you never get cut out of that as long as you're certified. They get a client, 8,000 bonus revenue. They're making 3,200. You make 4% minimum. If you have 10 brokers, you're making 4% of everything they do in bonus revenue every month, not just once, not just their first funding, every funding. If you had 10 brokers with one funding a month and it was 320 each, you'd make 3,200 in this level one pay here. Right? 10 of these fundings on your personal level, 320. But if you climb that ladder, you get the override spread. So you're at the 60, they're at the 40, you make 20%. Of course, times that 8, 1,600 more. So what if they're at the 50%? You'd only make 10. What if they're at 57? You only make 2.5. What if they're at the 42? You make 18. So you make the override spread. Your level and theirs, you always want to be climbing that ladder. But even if they pass you, good for you, because they're doing a lot of volume, you still make the 4% on every one of their fundings, no matter what, even if they pass you. So don't wait to enroll. My first about 15 clients in this company weren't mine. I was trying, but other people, me and my buddies, they were able to get some clients before me. No, didn't bother me, right? It shouldn't bother you either. So don't wait. As long as you have integrity and you believe in the product and you believe and you're trying, then you don't have to wait till you get clients to tell others. We've gotten tens of thousands of clients. You may not get any for 6 months, but you may enroll 10 people who get 60 of them in those 6 months, and you earn money on every one of them, and you make an impact to those 60 business owners. As you climb the ladder, you earn more. So agency expansion. We've got a training in the LMS called Agency Expansion Training. Watch it. It breaks it down. It says how to talk to people, what to do with them when they join. But the bottom line is to grow your market. Here's a great agency expansion plan. Choose your market. Choose a focused area, business district, a tight radius, like 15 miles from your house if there's a lot of businesses there, right? Even if you're in a downtown Manhattan, 2 square blocks, right? 2 square blocks only. You got 300 businesses there. Start with like a 500 business to 1,000 business radius. Create your social presence. There's going to be a workshop next week, and you're going to get some of that here in a few minutes. Serve clients while building your agency team. Help 100 clients per year with funding. That is your goal for your market. Okay? You override all of them. Build your local agency team. That can be you and one. That's it. You and a buddy. Build up to 2 to 10 brokers locally. Certified brokers. I'm looking to recruit some local brokers in my own town, Milford, Michigan, Heartland, Highland, Waterford, White Lake, this whole area here, Holly. I'm looking to build some brokers who want to work and help the business owners in this community. I want to train them, right? 2 to 10 active certified brokers. Find those ready to serve. They don't need to be experts. They just need to be willing and caring. Train and activate them, but don't wait for them to join for you to start. While team building starts, serving clients, etc. Now, before I go a step further, we've got a local leadership journey. If you say, hey, I want to be a local leader, and you subscribe to our local leader thing, we've got a email journey with some self-assessment tests, with some challenges, with some reminders. So we've got a system to help support you. We're going to be doing local leadership events only for people who are leading their local market. So you're going to have support through this, but with that, you need to be communicating with your team, right? So set up communication with your team. Get your own Zoom room. Have a text group with you and your team and talk to them regularly. Have game plans with all of them. Our agency expansion training explains all this, by the way. Set realistic conversations to application ratio. In the local market, they're going to probably have to talk to 40 businesses before they have a funding. That's just the way it is. Long distance market, they may have to talk to 400. They may not. They may talk to 70 that they don't know and get a funding. They may talk to 10 they don't know and get a funding. We don't know. I do know of one person who got 3 out of 15 clients they talked to. That's the best I've seen ratio wise. First 15 clients they talked to, 3 got a funding. I have another friend who he's not with us. He was one of my first buddies. He was with me in my first week. He went on to do other things, but he was one of my buddies. I think he talked to 12 clients and got 4. You know, why wouldn't he keep doing this, right? Well, he had other things. He's a business owner in other areas, and he still refers me clients periodically. But so that can happen, but I just don't want you to expect it. So break your activity goals down, just like you break down a workout. If you're training for a marathon, whatever you're doing, break it down. Then canvas your area. That doesn't mean go door to door, but it also means meet some people locally. Meet every business with neighborly energy, not just once, but until they know you by name. If they can say, oh yeah, David Rutz, that business funding guy. Yeah, I know Dave, right? That's what they need. The person I met today, I've never met him before. Otherwise I would have known his name. And then we met. Next time I see him, he'll know me more. Next time I see him, he'll know me more, but we're already talking about funding, right? Because he could tell I cared. He could tell I cared. Meet every business with neighborly energy, not just once, but until they know your name. And you want to know about their business too. My networking group in my chamber, I've probably referred out, I don't know, $30,000, $40,000 worth of business in 6 weeks. Referred to them. You think that's not good faith? And I'm not doing it to get reciprocation. I'm doing it because I really care about helping business owners. And if they're good, I'm going to refer them. Be seen as a local funding support person. Educate, inform, don't sell. Bring value, drop cards, flyers, go to the local meetups, attend the ribbon cuttings, join your chamber of commerce. We have a chamber thing right here. Join Chamber of Commerce, BNIs or networking, build relationships beyond just funding. And this is what I've said 10 times. I'm going to say it again. They must experience that you understand and care about their experiences as a business owner. When I told you about having to sell that horse, do you think I didn't cry? A grown man crying when, and by the way, we had divorced by that point. And do you think it didn't break my heart that not only did our marriage fall apart, but I couldn't sustain her household in my house? She was a stay-at-home mom and I was helping. And I knew I could afford to help raise our children and her house and my living and her horse, which was our horse. I knew I could, but I went through a downturn in business and I couldn't. So it was either their mortgage or the horse. But that was after 5 or 6 months of the barn saying, we'll give you grace period. We'll give you grace period. We'll give you grace period. Eventually the barn said, listen, you owe us more than the horse is worth. Right? So folks, I'll never forget that. It's the first time I've ever shared it on these Zooms in 10 years. I'll never forget it. I've got other business owner stories, not being able to buy tennis shoes, not being able to buy, even have a growing business. You got to put all your growth money back into the business or it stops growing. Take a paycheck? No, you take what is required to cover your bills. So if they can experience that, you can experience that. Don't think for a moment, just because they're a business owner, that they're making all kinds of money. Assume they're one of the 6 out of 10 who are right close. They're almost about to go to the next level. Assume that, and assume they're looking. They got solutions. They go to bed at night and they wake up. I was up from 1:30 to 4:30 today, the middle of the night, thinking about different things we're trying to do to expand. Guess what? So are they. I'm not in money. We're not in money issues. I was thinking about expansion ideas, just excited about it. That's what you do. Middle of the night, business owners are thinking. They're constantly thinking. This part they must experience you and understand came to me at 2:30 in the morning. That's why it's on this slide for the first time, because that's the difference. I was talking to my wife this morning. What is the difference? She's got a program called the God Sprinkles Experience. It's a event she's launching that goes along with her book called God Sprinkles. And it's about how to experience God, how she's experienced God. And she put all these stories in a book called God Sprinkles. And now she's creating the God Sprinkles experience. We're talking about it like, honey, it's not about, we're both talking about, it's not about the words you're saying. It's about whether they can feel the experience you had. It's not about a script, right? It's about how you feel it when you're sharing the story. And when they experience that, it'll never be forgotten. And guess what? It hit me. It was like, dang, that's why business owners, that's why I think I say the same thing as someone else and get more clients. Because they can feel, they feel my heart for them. You know it, team. So do they. We've got a Chamber of Commerce networking thing that says, if you buy a chamber membership and then you get $100,000 in funding from that chamber, we reimburse your chamber membership up to $500. So we're paying you for doing the right activity. Keep replenishing the team. Not everyone sticks. That's okay. Run weekly recruitings. Are you okay knowing that 70,000 people have joined and there's only 7,000 active? Are you okay with that? Some of you aren't. And if you aren't, you shouldn't recruit anybody, because the odds are 9 out of 10 of your brokers you recruit won't run with it. Maybe you recruit the right 3 or 4 and they will. But you got to be okay with that. That's just the reality. Start part-time, build a part-time team. If they decide it's not for them, they didn't have to pay licensing costs. They didn't have to open an office. They didn't have to pay a fee to us. They don't have to pay a website fee, a training fee, a system fee, a this fee, a that fee, into this, into that, into the other. They don't lose a dime. They lose some time, and you lose some time working with them. And we lose some time supporting them and paying for systems there. That's who loses. We do. We lose money, you lose time, they lose time. Okay? That's the risk. But we're okay with that because we know human nature is human nature. And 9 out of 10 people who join Planet Fitness don't get in shape. That doesn't mean you don't open a gym. That means you try to encourage the 9, but you focus on the 10 that are there. We focus on the 10% that are here, the 7,000 active brokers, help them turn into 70,000 active. And we know we may have to recruit 300,000, have 70,000 active. We're okay with that because we're not making money on them along the way. We hope they all make it. We give everyone the chance, but you got to keep replenishing your team. If you think you're going to recruit 3 and, hey, I recruited me in 3 and hey, it may happen that way. What got me out of General Motors, I introduced 3 or 4 of my buddies that I went to Michigan with, and we rocked, and we all got out of our jobs. So we all hit it hard. We had the buddy system, but always be replenishing. Duplicate into nearby towns. When a broker shows leadership, equip them, run a cluster team in their town, them in 1, them in 2, right? Duplicate, expand intentionally, empower them with this 8-step plan. Now, again, we've got the DAC leader. Decide, do you want to be a local leader? Or do you want to own your local market? If so, you want to be part of the U and 1, U and 2, U 3. But don't do this if you're like, I just want to make some money. Make some money. Make a bunch. Make millions. But do you really want to help your town? Man, if you want to help your town, you are going to rock it out. Are you ready to follow the 8 steps? If not, don't say you want to be a local leader. Just be a broker. Just be a broker. It won't duplicate. What you want to do won't duplicate. You want to be a social influencer? Go do it. You can make some money. I've got an advertising agency who asked if I'd spend money on ads. I said, I won't do it. I tried different things, testing different things to teach our brokers. None of them work. I spent over $100,000 on ads. It did me nothing. I'm not doing it anymore. I said, if your ads are good and you're good, do it as a broker. Come in as a broker. You put your money where your mouth is. You do all your social media stuff. You do it all, and you get a percentage. And most every one of them said, nope, nope, nope. Got one right now that's doing it. Started yesterday. Got one client applied yesterday. So We'll see. They're not following the 8 steps. They're a social media company that want to use, influencer and different things like that. You get to, but that's not a local leader. That's a social influencer. We won't stop you. We know the local leader is how you build a moat. If you're building it through telemarketing or ads, a local market person is going to take that business eventually. They're going to go local. So what you got to do is let us know. Go to dactrainer.com and subscribe. dactrainer.com and subscribe. Okay. We're kicking off the email journey probably tomorrow afternoon, right? So the journey is done. We just have to turn it on and then add all the people who subscribe to DAC Trainer to start getting the list. Okay. So inform us, dactrainer.com. You'll get a local leader checklist, download it, go through that checklist, lead by example. Again, you got to do those first things, the task, climb the ladder, then act out the 8 steps. Don't just say you're going to do it, actually do it. Okay. That's what you need to do for local leader. And before we go into social media, McGuire is going to take over in a minute. This is how you support your local market with social media. How do you become known and support your local market with social media? Well, the good news is McGuire's wife is a social media expert. McGuire has become a social media expert. He's still growing through it, and we're okay with that, right? Aren't we all okay with that? We're all I've gotten a lot of clients in social media without any tutoring, just by caring and posting what I love about my business. And wanting to help business owners and sharing and caring. But now we're systematizing it. We've got actually a method to your local madness, right? And we've got other experts we're bringing in as well to help us with this over time. We got a workshop next week you're going to learn about. But this is designed not to replace everything else we just talked about local. It's not designed to replace everything we teach in your business funding training on how to get clients. We say go social in there as one of the parts. Now we're teaching you how to do it better. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. McGuire Tate. He's not only part of the corporate team, he's also my wife's son. And I met McGuire when he was 3.5, 4 years old, somewhere in there, a little tyke. And I won't tell you what, with the little Spider-Man pajamas he used to wear. Maybe I will after all. And so what a spunky little guy. He's always had a gift of communication. He's always had a leadership ability to him. I remember telling people we went camping. I remember telling all my wife's friends that I wouldn't doubt if that guy becomes president one day. He's just got that leadership skill. He was only 5 at the time. So, but he was just wired odd and different in a good way. So we're proud to have him part of the team, and he's leading up to social media. So with that, my son, McGuire Tate, go ahead, Magoo.
I appreciate it, David, Dad, whatever you want to call it. But no, I really do appreciate it. And I've loved every part of being with DAC. I'll make this as brief as I can. Like David just said, this is something we thought that would be very useful for our broker family, not to replace, the local outreach, but to be supplemental to that. We understand that we're in a digital world, whether we like to not say we are or not, but there's a lot digitally that's going on right now. And we believe that social media is like a digital handshake when you're away, for someone to view you while you're not physically there. So with this is kind of a brief demo of what the actual social media guide that we have now. It's live in our resource center. And like David mentioned, next Tuesday at 8 p.m., I'll be going over a workshop, just going through any questions or, kind of specific details that anyone would like to speak on. So this is the social media demo, if you will. But so I'm going to go over some of the main highlights, right? Social media presence in your local market, why social media matters, trust before transactions. Brokers win because of a few things: local presence, real relationships, and trust before transactions always speaks volumes. Social media is not for selling, right? Social media primes the soil, if you will. So the conversations can happen more naturally. This is about giving yourself and your business visibility and trust, not just pitching business funding, being value, right? So some core principles with this being geographically anchored. So picking one anchor town, owning that town, people really can trust what feels close to them, comfortable and clear. You want to focus on creating recognition, because that'll end up building trust with your community, with those business owners, and that trust leads to creating opportunity, which in this case is helping them achieve funding if need be. And being anchored doesn't mean limited, right? It just means being very bold and clear with your town, right? Who you're aiming to help first and foremost. So some of the platform rules: Facebook first. We're leading with Facebook as the primary platform. This is where local trust is built. It's just very well built for that presence, that local presence. There's other platforms that can mirror content from your Facebook if you'd like, but we want to start simple, start easy with one platform. Consistency will always beat complexity, so you don't need some crazy, well shot videos and this and that. We just need to be consistent and be clear. You don't need to be everywhere, like we just said, just consistent with what you're putting out. So with a weekly posting rhythm, there's more to this in the actual manual, but this is a brief overview of that. So 3 posts per week. That's it. That's the minimum. That's what we're setting here, with one being your local interactor post, so supporting and highlighting your local businesses and your community. Education, reassurance, right? Normalizing funding confusion, misconceptions, things that just maybe aren't clearly understood by the general business owner public. Reframing bank declines, things like that, right? Really providing education and knowledge, not just putting your information out there for them to see, right? As well as insight and observation. So sharing patterns you see from real conversations, just sharing the day in and day out things that you experience as you move forward as a broker. And some of the rules with that: don't be posting your links, don't be pitching, invite conversations. Like I said, provide value, provide education. That is going to create trust in conversations 100 times over before posting a link or just pitching, we have business funding. All right. Engagement is the multiplier here. Posting creates visibility. So what that does is it engages, it creates reach to whoever views it. So each week, comment on 5 local business posts, right? Engage with those local business owners, like and reply to the comments. Just really be on top of all the activity that's going on. Why it matters? Well, it signals real relationships. It signals a two-way street. You're not just posting online, hey, we have business funding, we have business funding. You're providing value, you're commenting, you're interacting. And what that does is that triggers Facebook's algorithm. And I won't get into the weeds with that, but if you can understand that the more you produce outwards, not just post and leave it be, Facebook picks up on that, and it's more likely for you to be in front of people of the specific market. It also increases local visibility naturally. So again, other people are going to see that, and whether you even reached out or had a conversation with them, they'll pick up on that and see, going to your profile, what you're all about and what you're here to serve. So never pitch in the comments. Conversations happen privately. Obviously, just provide that education, responses if need be, value, and that will always lead to further maybe private conversations. So the simple goal here, guys, and again, this goes much more in depth. I can't wait for the workshop next week to go into the nitty gritty with you guys. But we think this is really huge. We think this is going to help people. It's going to be supplemental to their local outreach to become known, become trusted, become available, right? Even when you're sleeping, just like David mentioned, there might be a business owner up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., thinking of, how can I do this? I had this idea, and they come across your page and see you, interacting with another local business, and they see, oh, who is this person? They go to your page and they say, wow, look at this person, and it just sparks a conversation. That's how simple it could be. But again, engaging and being active is obviously the goal here. So your profile is your voice. It's a digital handshake while you're away. Your page is your storefront. Social media supports those local conversations. You pick your area, your anchor town. You're not limited to that, but again, you're known as that person serving that town. Simple rhythm, right? Consistency matters here. Long-term trust. That's what it's going to create down the road. Just like anything, it's new at first, and then down the road, it flourishes into this great thing. And that's what we believe this can be. So when someone needs help, they already know who you are, what you're about, and where they can find you if this is where they come across you or need to be. So I can't wait to dive into this more. Again, these are just kind of like the highlights here, but setting up your page, you're going to claim your local presence. Your profile basics are to use a clear, friendly headshot and a nice picture of you, or if you prefer the DAC independent broker logo. You can make sure to make your profile public. So like I said, people can view you from anywhere, and enable messages as well. You might even receive some inbound messages or just be able to communicate with people you're interacting with. And as far as your banner, if you're not familiar with Facebook, you have your profile picture and then a cover photo banner behind that. We have a DAC approved banner, which is in our resource center. It's actually also linked into the social media manual. So both places you can find that. Make sure it's clean, professional, and on brand. Your bio. So we have a format for your bio. This is important because, again, we don't want to be saying the same things over in our posts. So if somebody sees your post, they go to your profile, they'll see your bio, which will have your business funding based in the town, whatever town you're in, serving surrounding communities, one application, best offer, message me to get started. So this is creating, again, that digital handshake while you're away. Name of the company on business page. So the name format will be DAC funding broker, and then hyphen in parentheses your town or area. Keep it simple, professional, doesn't need to be too crazy. Repost from your personal profile, right? So this is going to be a business page. This is separate. We don't want people just reformatting their personal page. So you can repost from your personal page, and again, your profile is going to build trust. Your page supports that credibility in your local area. This is an example. You see the handsome man there. You guys recognize David.
Come on now. I
This is
built
an
this today
example.
thanks to this manual. Just today I
Yep.
built this, and I got to start posting it. I love this.
It's cookie cutter. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the approved banner right there. You've got his name, DAC Funding Brokers, Southeast Michigan, where he's located. So this is just a visual example of those two things: the title and the approved banner, and that's the vision on the mobile. So we made it. We made it very important that the banner will work on desktop and mobile, so it looks clean, both interfaces. So you guys don't have to worry about that. We did that, got that all worked out. But like I said, next week, Tuesday night, January 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, I'll be hosting a workshop and a workbook. So I'm going to be going over the full local social presence manual, and we're going to be going through any questions that people, anything from page setups to, demos, have any questions that you want, right? This is a place where we can just come in, get to the root of it, and make sure that everybody's able to take advantage of this, because we really do believe that, again, we're in a digital world. As much as we can create those relationships in person, that's the most important thing, those real, raw, genuine connections. But at the end of the day, it's nice to have a place for people to land on, even haphazardly, where they didn't even meet you yet, but now they know more about you than, as you would with a conversation. So this is meant to be supplemental. We think this is going to be great to really boost that local presence. And I'm super excited for next week, Tuesday.
Dude, that rocks. Before I go into bank relationships real quick, I just wanted to say, guys, we know he went through that fast. The workbook, which all of these slides came from, is in your resource center. You can download it and read it, but where it's really going to come to life is at the workshop. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be learning, because I make mistakes in my posts. I post a lot of stuff on my personal page, and I'm learning through all the experts that as much as I have effectiveness there, it would be much more effective if I was at my professional page that is built for one thing. And McGuire's got systems to teach us how to get that page viewed by business owners in our town, how to become a resource for the business owners in the town, how the business owners will want to click on that page. And our page, so that DAC funding broker Southeast Michigan is going to be who's commenting on their restaurant and referring their restaurant. And so it's not you personally, but of course it's your personal page. So I can't wait for tomorrow night. This is long overdue. And now that I'm out in the chamber meetings all the time and doing this stuff all the time, I need to support it with social, and you do too. And I encourage all of you to be out at that event, read the workbook between now and then come out for the expertise next week. Great job, McGuire. I know you rifled through it. Everyone, we were doing that on purpose. You've got the booklet, and it's a feature for next week. Great job, buddy. Great
Thank
job. You bet. All right. So again, Facebook has a personal page, they have a group, and then they have a company page. This would be a company page. You're starting a page, not a group. A page, not a group. A page, not a group. All you got to do is be signed in on your local Facebook and click on add page, and you can add a page in the upper right hand corner. Magoya will show you how to do that Tuesday if you don't know how, but that's what you do. First thing it asks you is company name. What is it? DAC Funding Broker hyphen city. What's company name? DAC Funding Broker, not David Allen Capital. Your site will be turned off. You're violating the group if you put your full name. Can't do that. It's got to be DAC Funding Broker. All right. So follow the approved banner, follow the approved company name. It's all in the workbook if you didn't get it all from this. And let's talk bank relationships. I'm at, what time you got, McGuire?
We're at 9:45.
All right, good. So we're going to talk bank relationships. We're going to talk contests, and then we're going to go to some questions. All right. So here we go. Bank relationships. What's this all about, guys? Part of being neighborly is helping your banks too. Helping your banks. Why? Because you're going to come across clients who are bank eligible and they can get bank funding, and you're going to want to refer them to the bank. That's one reason. The second reason you want to help banks is because they have a lot of business owner clients they can't approve. They don't like that they can't approve. That bank manager is a person. That funding commercial loan broker is a person who's talked to that business owner for 10 years. When I went and applied for a bank loan at my bank in 2007, when we were growing fast, and they had to tell me no, they actually, the manager and another manager from another store drove to my office, met with my mother and I. My mother was our bank relationship. She still works with DAC. Isn't that awesome? But she was our assistant, handled all of our accounting in in a company I had in 2007. So she had the bank relationships. They came all the way out to meet with Sharon and I to tell us we were declining. They didn't say you're declining. They said, we can get you as much money as you need, but we need your house as collateral, and we can't do it for 6 weeks. I'm like, I need the money by Friday. And they said, yeah, we can't do it. I said, look how much money we have in your bank. And they felt bad. That's why they both came out there. They didn't want to say no over the phone. They didn't want to sit. They drove all the way to our office to tell us they had solutions if we could give them 6 weeks and put our houses up on the line, which is it's not unreasonable, right? It's not unreasonable of them, but it educated me on how hard it is to get a bank loan and fast. And it's really a collateralized personal loan in the bank name, in the company name, because you need to put up a collateral. I didn't own my building. We rented it. So that's why 9 out of 10 can't get loans. Well, the bank manager felt awful, awful. We had relationships with them for 6, 7 years. Never bounced a check. They were great for us. They bring us prizes and celebrations and bagels and donuts, and they loved us, but they couldn't approve us. So how are you helping the bank? Why do you want to be neighborly with the bank? Because you want to help them not have to say no. They came out to tell me they had other alternatives called put up equity, put up this and that. That's all the bank can do. Well, sorry, you haven't been in business 2 years. We need 2 years. We need collateral. They got to say their rules. 9 out of 10 don't qualify for it though. So you get to help them take care of their customers. You get to be an example, but they won't count on you until they experience you caring about their clients. They don't want the backlash. I got my third meeting with them. They finally told me their biggest concern and why they wanted to meet. I met with 2 of them last week is because they wanted to make sure there'd be no backlash to them on any fundings we do. They know we can get them approved. They know we can get them the money. They have all kinds of clients who've already taken funding like ours. They see the payments going out each week. They already know it can happen. What they don't want is the backlash coming to them if the loan goes bad. So they had to experience me caring to know that any client they hear is not going to be sold, hammer closed, commission breath, none of that. They're going to get someone who goes, I'm here to help you. And if it's not the right fit, and they sent me 2 test clients and they both got approved and neither one of them took the money. We didn't get them enough for one of them. The other one, it cost too much. But you know what? We didn't sell them. We said, good call. If you don't have a good need, you should not take that money. It's not a line of credit just to have it, right? They weren't qualified for that. So the banks will test you. They're worried about backlash to them. These are their long-term clients. You get a backlash, they take their bank account and move somewhere else. They're doing 100,000 a month. You know what that's worth to a bank? A lot. They don't want to lose that client because they preferred a loan, and then the loan turns upside down sideways, and it's a bad reputation, and they're pulling that money out of Chase Bank or Bank of America and going someone else. They don't want to do that. So they want to help their clients without hurting their clients, right? So now that you know that, okay, how do you serve them? It's really simple. Be neighborly and let them experience that you care. Number one, bank reach outs. They have clients they have clients they really like and care about, but they can't approve their loans, right? Yeah. They want to help them, but they fear the client may be hurt and would rather not refer that client than refer them to a salesy, commission-focused salesperson. Everything I just talked about. The bank must experience through your behavior and your knowledge by studying, educating, that you are only there to help businesses and won't push a funding on someone that isn't good for them. Okay, so there's the bank funding brochure off to the right. That's all the education they need. But I got some good news I'm going to share with you in a minute. But that's basically the philosophy of the bank reach out. Now, how do you do it? Number one, you got to reframe the goal. You're not there to get clients. You're there to help the banks protect the client relationship. One of the bank managers told me last week, one of my biggest fears when I have to turn down a client is that they're going to go elsewhere and get a loan at another bank and leave us. That's my biggest fear. Interesting. So wouldn't that be, and they're a loan VP of loans, wouldn't that be a good reason to mention to a bank manager? The greatest news is when we get them funding, the money's deposited in your bank. So you don't lose the client, you actually keep the client. So I mentioned that to the gal, and the gentleman who was sitting next to him, who was the president of the bank, said, and I said, I've heard that's a value, and I know it is. It's about 10 times what we deposit they can loan out because of different multiples in the industry. I think it's still that. I said, I've heard like if they deposit 100,000 in your bank, it's a value to you. And he said, absolutely, because what we get deposits, we get to loan out. So we make money on the deposits. So they'd rather they get $100,000 loan deposit in their bank than leave and get a loan elsewhere and take all their deposits. So you're helping them. But again, the goal is to help protect the client relationship, but you got to lead as a neighbor. You got to let them know you're local. You're not going to do this nationwide. Good luck getting a bank. I've not gotten any banks that aren't in my backyard. Okay, I've talked to three-way calls for some of you with banks in your backyard, and they gives them the credibility, and they feel comfortable, and they experience that, they love hearing that none of our people talking to the clients are paid on commission. They love hearing that if the revenue goes down, the lenders will compensate and lower their payment. They love hearing those things. So put those in your feathers. Put those feathers in your cap, I should say. Use bank-friendly language. Acknowledge their pressure. Recognize how hard it is for them to say no to good clients. When I say I experienced my manager, they drove all the way up to see me, they go, he gets it. He gets it. He knows how hard it is for us to say no. And he also knows how much we care about our business owners, that he does not want to take advantage of them. Acknowledge their pressure, acknowledge their concern. Keep it under 30 seconds when you first reach out to them. Obviously, you'll have a sit down, ask for collaboration, not referrals. Let them know you're looking to help all the business owners in the community. I've said to one, let's do an education series together for the chamber. Let's do it, right? Offer to be a resource rather than asking for leads. Let them know I'm happy to talk to any of your clients. I'm happy to talk to any of your clients with you on the phone. I'm happy to be a support. If you want to tell them, hey, I've heard about this, let's put them on the phone and let's check it out together. And then you guys can talk offline, whatever it takes to give you the comfort, Mrs. Bank Manager, Mr. Bank Manager, whatever it takes. We want to collaborate. Offer a soft next step. Get a coffee with them. Short call. Simply stay and stop in and see them again. Leave them relieved. Your goal is for them to think, I'm glad I met this person. I now have a resource that I can test. They're not going to jump in and give you a bunch of leads, but they have a resource that they can at least consider, right? If you've got those things accomplished, that was a successful reach out. Now, here's an email I've used to reach out to banks and set up some meetings. That's precisely what I said. That's literally what I said to Citibank in my town. Lisa's at that bank. Actually, it wasn't Citibank. So that's precisely what I said. In fact, that Lease is no longer at Citibank, so that kicked back to me. That's how I was able to find it real fast. So there's no lease at a Citibank in my town, but I tried. But I use that same email to others. What's the first line? I'm local and I want to introduce myself. You don't know me directly. I love helping business get funding. Want to connect with bank managers. And then you attach that brochure, which is right in your back office. If you do that with every bank in your town and then you go in and see them, hey, I sent you an email, or you call them, care, don't sell. It doesn't have to be today. Over time, you'll have that relationship. If you're at a chamber, you're going to meet 10 banks at your chamber. They're going to get to know you over time. I had a bank called Huntington Bank. Huntington Bank's a big bank here in Michigan. I think they're big throughout the country. I don't know. But Huntington, the guy came up to me after about my 5th chamber meeting, said, I got some clients I want to refer to you. Why? Because he's experienced me. He knows he can. He knew the deal the first day. He needed to get to know me more before he'd sit down and talk. And by the way, I've referred him to mortgage clients. So it's apples to apples, right? We share. So that's bank funding. We're going to go into more. I'm actually working on a video that you'll be able to send banks. Me as the CEO to you as a bank manager, how we want to take care of your clients. And we can't be in your backyard, but we've got a broker there. And between us, we want to take care of your clients. And I want you to be able to call me at any time. If you ever want me to talk specifically with one of your clients, I will. I want you to know that we are here to support your brand. By the way, because of that, we've got some banks who are considering embedding our website right into their corporate page as a partnership, not just as a referral. Most banks will have to refer you out because they can't earn. But I've got one bank right now talking with their board about, can we become a partnership where we're right on the website and it's alternative capital, such and such bank, powered by David Allen Capital and Bank Breezy. So that's where we're at in that conversation. And then they could have more of a see on things, and it's not just handing someone off. And then they can earn on it because then they're a partnership. Okay. But so that's why I encourage they consider that, and they're talking to the board. All right. We've got something, March Madness contest coming up. What? Say what? Y'all know what March Madness is, right? Basketball tournament. Yeah. March Madness. It's a lot of fun. Well, March Madness, what does it do? You got a basketball tournament, and then you have a bunch of people come together, and the top 64 teams, I think it's 68 now, make it into the March Madness, and they play basketball against each other in a single elimination. And I've done this in the past. We had a national championship in past companies, and we gave away some amazing prizes and rings, and production determines prizes. I'm just going to be flat out. We're not silly about our money. Production determines prizes. All right. I can tell you in the past, we've given cars. I can tell you in the past, we've given rings, leather coats, custom suits. We've done all kinds of things. I don't see that in this one. So please don't think there's going to be cars on a 3-month process, but we may work on, this may set up the next deal. You know, we're going to see what kind of production this produces. So, but there is going to be a national champion at the end of March. There will be one person who's our national champion. And that one person is going to have some special perks and benefits and win some prizes and bragging rights for at least a quarter, right? And there'll be a Final Four, and there'll be an Elite Eight, and there'll be a Sweet 16, just like in the national championship. There's 64. They play each other, goes to 32. They play each other, goes to 16, then 8. And guess what? It's personal performance. You could be brand new and win this. It's not who's got the biggest team who produces. It's not whose agency produces more. That we may do separate agency leadership things, but this is a personal production contest. March Madness with DAC. All right. It's going live. The March Madness is happening January 30th on a broker update call. We're giving all the rules. We're giving all the rules. Not till January 30th at 11:30 a.m. on the broker update call, right? So that's when you see all the details of who's seated, how do you get seated, how do you eliminate, how do you keep going, what do you get if you make it into the, there's only so many people are going to get, beginning of March who are in it. right? Everyone else is working toward it to try to qualify. So only so many are going to be in it. What do they all get? And then if they make it into the next round, what do they get? If they make it in the next round, what do they get? And so it's going to be a lot of fun. These are always fun. And so it is going, well, how do you track production? These are the things we're tracking. We're tracking new brokers. There'll be points. New certified brokers. These are all personal. New certified brokers. There'll be points, more points than regular brokers. Applications for funding. You'll get points for every application. Completed application, of course. And then fundings, you'll get points. And the bigger the funding, the more the points. So the person with the most points, the people with the most points, move on. Now, you're going to learn about this January 30th, but you see what it says there? Effective today. Effective today, the 15th. We're already counting. You're here. You know about this already. Some aren't going to plug in and pay attention until the 30th. You already have a head start because you're going to be building between now and the 30th. And anything you do in recruiting and certified brokers and new personal funding applications, and they got to be new brokers who get certified. It can't be go get all your old people certified. They do that, of course. Tell them about this March Madness. Tell them to go for it. Tell them about Spanish. Tell them about the funding special. Tell them about the social media training. Tell them about the local leadership journey and workshops we're going to be doing. Tell them about all that. But also rock and roll with new production. New production is what's going to win the national championship. So this is already, some of you recruited a bunch of people today. Some of you had some certifications today. That counts. You're already accumulating points. Some of you turned in someone today for funding. We're not talking about the people who got funded today, new applications today. And if they fund points. So the 15th is the start date, but the 30th is when we give all the details, but you can have a head start. You can have a head start because you're here. Now, we've emailed everyone. We told everyone Friday we're going to be talking about it. Now, we haven't told you the prizes yet. We will. We haven't told you the elimination process or the qualification process. We will. But we have told you and given you a head start, a sneak peek, pulled back the curtain. Those are the 4 things we're measuring: personal production. So if you like contests, produce in all 4 of those areas. All 4 of those areas. And isn't that what we're supposed to be doing anyway? That's called phase 1 of our business. Building our agency expansion, helping them get certified, getting funding applications and helping them turn into fundings. You get points for all the right activity, and you get more points for the more productive activity, right? So y'all wrote that down. We'll be putting out more information and news. But that's what you need to know for right now. March Madness with DAC going live already today. Details on the 30th. It's going to be fun. And I can't wait. I want to see a lot of production so we can get great, crazy prizes, right? We're smart. We're not going to lose a bunch of money on this, but we're willing to take a percentage of everything new that comes in and throw it right back into the field. So, you want to be a part of that. Last thing I'll say as far as an incentive before we go to questions, I'm going to shut this off. The people that are signing up for local leaders, you're going to learn of a equity incentive and revenue sharing incentive in this company. One of the things that inspired me most early on was being able to earn a part of, I had a company and had a phone company, and they said, we're going to reward you if we ever go public or if we ever sell. We're going to give you a big payday on your performance because you guys have done so well. You've helped us build our company. So because you've helped prop us up and make us look attractive in the public market, we're going to give you umpty-ump. I'm like, you're kidding me. So every new revenue I do, that's giving us more opportunity to have a big payday if you ever go public. Yeah, like stock options type thing, right? But it wasn't stock options. It was cash. That inspired the heck out of me. I don't know if it would inspire you, but it inspired the heck out of me. And, but what if you don't go public? What if you don't have an exit? Then it doesn't turn into anything. It doesn't translate. Right. And so then there's something called revenue sharing. You know, what's the value of being an owner? You own the company, you get part of the profit. What if there's no dividends? Well, you don't get any profit. You get to vote and you make money if it sells. What if you have revenue sharing? You get a percentage of the revenue every single month. You have the entire company in your team. You get paid even if the company's not making money. You get revenue sharing. So our local leader, the first local leader workshop we have, we're going to be talking to the local leaders about our revenue sharing. Now, if you're a personal broker, you won't qualify for it. If you're just going to be a broker, just getting clients, not a problem. We'll pay you very well. You get 80% of what we get. 80% of the bonus revenue is yours. You get great override spreads if you ever do refer a team. But since you're not focused on that, no problem. But for the people who sign up at dacleader.com and they plug into our leadership journey and they plug into our leadership system and they start doing it the DAC way and they see the vision. Wait a minute. If I have my local town turning into 50, 100 fundings, 200 fundings a year just from 4 or 5 of us, and I have another 10 towns with 4 or 5 fundings a week, 400 or 500 a year. Wow, I could do thousands of fundings. And if the rest of DAC does the same thing, if we have another 100 brokers who do, if just 10% of the 7,000 active brokers, if just 700 brokers opened up 4 little cities with 5 or 6 people, if just that happened, we'd be a multi-billion-dollar company. Yep. Do you know that EXP right now, they're a realtor? They're worth about $1.8 billion and they've never made a profit. Well, I shouldn't say they never. They're not making a profit now. Do you know that Keller Williams is worth $3.8 billion and they're losing money? Why? Because they sell a lot of homes and that's worth something in the stock market. Do you know what DAC is going to have value-wise when we go out there and have 700 local markets doing their local DAC, local funding broker, Poughkeepsie, Illinois, DAC, local funding broker, Northwest Grand Rapids, DAC, local funding broker, Manhattan, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. And we have 1,000 of those, and then 2,000 of those, and then 3,000 of those. So there's no guarantee it'll happen. But Rocket Mortgage went out and did it, and then ended up buying the Cleveland Cavaliers and then built all of Detroit, and EXP went and did it. It was just a couple of guys who wanted to start a real estate agency and allow you to build your own real estate team instead of being like Century 21 and you had to open a brokerage to have a real estate team. They'll let everyone build a real estate team. And Keller Williams did the same thing. Guess what? Our background is in building teams of consumer products, and we've always built massive businesses of consumer products. Funding, where you can make full-time money without building. You could have a team of 4 or 5 people and make $250,000 because you're taking care of your town and then have 10 other towns. Now, please, most of our brokers make zero. If 70,000 have joined and there's only 7,000 active and it's free to remain active, that means they're making nothing and chose not to sign a free renewal. That means they quit, right? Right? So no pie in the sky, get rich quick crap here, but no glass ceiling stopping you from going as high as you want to go either. And I'm telling you in our local training, and I'm going to stop right now, in our local leader events, you're going to learn about a rev share and an equity in a equity position share. And you're going to see a model on how we hope to become $1 billion company. So if you have equity, you'll get rich. And even if we don't have equity, I mean, even if we don't go public or have some equity venture capital play of some kind to make you rich, the only reason I would do it is to fund you guys and reward you for building the company. That's the only reason. There's no other reason to go public. We don't need the money. So it'd be to reward the builders. But even when that doesn't happen, or if that doesn't have revenue sharings happening every month, and you're getting a piece of the entire company sales. So, you know, if I was a General Motors employee. I'd be excited to get to an eighth level so I could get a car allowance. This is what it was in 1990 anyway. I could get a car at eighth level. And if I become 10th level unclassified, oh, come on now. Now you get some stock options. That's pretty darn cool. Fire, fire, fire. Yeah. That's pretty darn cool. So when I was at Arthur Andersen, now it's called Accenture. It's my first job out of college, Arthur Andersen. And they told you work here 10 years, you can become a partner. As a partner, you'll get revenue sharing and equity if we ever sell. Well, they had some issues with accounting, but they're still around. Accenture's a multi-billion-dollar company. They said, you become partner, you get part of the company. I'm 23 years old. Get out of my way. I'm becoming a partner, right? Of course, I'm going to become a partner. Well, then GM sweetened the pie, so I went to GM. But nothing was sweeter than owning my own business. So all I can say is David Rutz owns 100% of this company. I made a mistake of not owning control of a former company. I had to step down to keep it from selling, as I said before. I own 100%. I don't want to own 100%. I want to give a lot of it away. I will own control. The Ford family still controls Ford. The Rutz family will always control DAC, and this will have subsequent trusts and things to keep it long after me. Henry's gone. Henry II's gone. William Clay's gone. The Ford company still owns 51%. They're still rocking and jamming, and they're the only ones who didn't take a government buyout back when President Obama was helping save the auto industry. Some said Ford said, we don't need your money. We'll keep it on your own. And they own 51% of family. Where's the other 49% owned by others? So there's an equity play here. $100 million in commissions equals about a $200 million value. $1 billion in commissions equals about a $3 to $4 billion value, whether you go public or not. So you'll learn about that on the local training thing. And I'm just excited to share it. And it'll be in writing. This isn't a hype call. This is we build it. If you build it, you will receive. If you don't, it's okay. I didn't become a partner at Arthur Andersen. So I didn't get anything from Arthur Andersen. I chose to leave. I didn't get a car at General Motors. I chose to leave. But I own my own business. And I've been able to receive a lot more than I would have got by staying at both of those. And you have the opportunity here. So if you didn't have a professional contract at your football, and we do have some professional football players in our company, but if you didn't have one of those, or if you don't have a equity position where you're at, you didn't set your retirement up much, and you need to get your retirement, you can make $250,000 a year with us this year. This year, you could have a team and make $250,000, and you got to climb the personal ladder, but you can do it. You can catch up. And if you put a couple $100,000 into an investment account, and the way the market's growing, maybe that's worth $500,000 in a few years. So $200,000 you make today is really worth $500,000 5 years from now. And maybe that $500,000 goes to $1 million in the next 5 years as the market continues to grow. So every $200,000 you make is pretty spectacular. So the local leader call, you'll hear about how to be a local leader, how to make an impact, and also how to impact your family for growing the company. You're going to have to grow DAC. None of this passive stuff where I'm involved in 15 companies. Good. You won't make it to the top here. You won't be one of the people. So local leader, you'll see the checklist and you'll see the gifts. All right, folks, we are right at around 10. Beautiful. So we wanted to be done by 10. We're a little long. You can all go, but if you have questions, we're going to stay until we get them all answered. So what do we got? While we're opening up tomorrow at 11:30, we got a huddle. I'm doing tomorrow's huddle. Cool. And then following that, we've got broker update. We've covered a lot today. We're going to recover some of this, and we're going to be talking about the workshop and a couple other things about the local leader thing tomorrow.
Got some hands up. I hopefully I remember this right. Is it Rosangela? Let me know if I'm wrong, but I thought.
Yes.
Cool. I love it. All righty.
So I do have a question. So, are you guys able to approve or accept new business cards? Because I could create business cards.
You mean, you're wanting to order business cards? Is that what you're saying?
Create it.
Yeah, we have business cards in our print shop that you can order. You can always make your own as well. They just have to have the independent broker logo on them. But we already have company approved cards at our print shop.
I have I usually create it with a personal I like design along with
You get
I'll
to.
email it. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. If you put our logo on it, it's got to be the independent broker logo. That's all. And I would make sure you use our style guide. Our style guide has fonts, colors. So you want to make sure you're using the style guide to make sure you're not coming up with some cursive thing that's not our brand and then it's got DAC logo. It just doesn't fit the brand. Anything on our website won't fit. Everything on our business cards and our brand style guide fits our DAC and our Bank Breezy branding. So I would just pay attention to that. Good stuff.
Can I send it directly straight to the email so y'all see the font?
Just I would say, yeah, you can send it to the support email for, approval.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And if it's a
Got it.
standard font, it's going to be fine.
Okay.
Next up, we have Ray. Go ahead, Ray.
Good evening. This is
Good
Ray.
evening.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. How do you feel about bandit signs? Like if someone wanted to use bandit signs, not banner, bandit, BANDIT.
I've never heard of bandit signs, so I can't tell you how I feel about them.
Okay.
What's a bandit sign?
The
Yeah, I'm
signs you see
curious.
like on the corners, like you see the signs on the corners when
Like the
you're
yard
driving.
signs, the lawn signs, like?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like when you're driving, you might see them out on the corner.
Yeah, yeah. So they're like election type signs, but for business funding, you like the yard
Yes.
signs. Yeah,
Yes.
I've thought about doing some, frankly. I know a lot of health insurance companies do. I would only do it local, but I would say on it local funding or something. I've never done it, so I can't speak to it. They're not that expensive. I think, in fact, our print shop will do them for you. But so I've never tried them, so I can't speak to it.
Okay, yeah, I would just wonder because I know in certain cities and counties you have to get approval, because
Yeah,
some places won't allow you to do it. So, but
you
yeah, I just wanted to
definitely
know. Yeah,
you definitely got to get permits, and you don't want to be violating any rules because they'll be calling DAC, not you, probably. Yeah.
okay, thank
Yep.
you.
Great
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thanks, Ray. Next up, we have Miss Katie Sprinkle. Go ahead, Katie.
Hello, hello all.
Hi, Katie.
So, real quick, awesome presentation tonight.
Thank you.
I've got a husband and wife team looking at coming on, so I'm really thrilled with them. Then my question, I know we can do like vape stores because we've talked about that before. Can we do dispensaries for funding?
For funding, yes, not for payment processing. But the biggest problem is a lot of those vape stores are cash-based business and they're not depositing it all. So of course it's a high risk industry.
Right.
So Wade might be on him. He may say Nexay, but it may be like, yeah, they say they can do it, but they don't. But we've been told they will do dispensaries. Yes.
Okay, wanted to make sure.
Yeah. The issue is, of course, federal credit cards. You can't take credit cards at a dispensary.
Right on.
It's not a federally approved thing yet. It's state approved. So they can't take credit cards, which means they're only taking cash. And there's some high risk in that, obviously, that they'll even deposit the money. Credit card sales coming in have to be deposited in your bank. Cash sales coming in, you just keep it in your trunk, right? And you never have to put it in the bank. So there's no guarantee the bank will see deposits to get themselves paid back.
All right,
Credit
thanks,
card
David.
is good. Yep. But we can do it. Yes.
Good stuff, Katie. Next up, we have Willie. Go ahead, Willie.
I've been around for a while, but haven't produced much, and as a result, well, I haven't been that active. I'm going to get active now. I'm motivated, but I understand that my Relevate card was deactivated because of my production level. So, do I need to somehow get that reactivated, or?
No, that's a great question. There's probably several people. Relevate is the pay card. It's a debit card. In the past, it was a checking account. And then they said, hey, these checking accounts cost us money every month. If you're not depositing money in it every month, we need to close these, David. And we said, close them, understood. But what we'll do is if they earn a commission, we'll open up an immediate pay card for them. So you don't have to do anything. If you earn a commission, let's say, Willie, you get a commission tomorrow. We would send that commission to Relevate. Relevate says, oh, Willie's no longer an active member here, they send you an email to say sign up for your pay card. There's already money here waiting for you. You take a 5-minute sign up process. The money is in your account immediately. The card is sent to you. You won't get it for about a week to 2 weeks, but the money's already available. You can bill pay, transfer it, send it to someone on a text. So you can move the money immediately, but you won't have your card, your debit card, for about a week to 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Need to do nothing. Just earn the commission. We'll take care of the rest. And welcome
Good
back, Willie.
message. Thank you.
Absolutely. Great to have you back, Willie. And good question, too. Like David said, I'm sure there's might be others that had that question, too. So appreciate you asking. Let's see. Loretta Lowe, go ahead, Loretta.
Hi, thank you. Thank you both so much. This might be a question that's going to be covered in Tuesday's training relative to social media, but I was wondering, when you have 2 or more DAC brokers from the same city, when we're setting up our page, will we then make minor adjustments in the wording in the name format for that Facebook page?
I would say no, just because, just like Keller Williams has 20 agents in my town, Milford, Michigan, Keller Williams, Milford, Michigan. So you can still say DAC funding broker, Milford, Michigan. And I could say DAC funding broker, Milford, Michigan. We can both say it. It's not a problem. Now, who wins the business is going to be the person who cares most about the town and is most active. But if you recruit someone in your team, I would have them use the exact same name. You're both funding brokers in Milford, Michigan, or whatever town you're from, of course.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Good question, Loretta. And yeah, we'll cover that on Tuesday, but that's definitely a good question that sparks something maybe I'll bring up on Tuesday. So thank you for that. Walter, you're next. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, I enjoy everything I heard today. And thanks for that banking information about the questions. Will that be posted in the resource? 'Cause I couldn't write everything down.
The banking information as far as
Yeah,
the funding info? Oh,
as
talking to
far as what
banks?
you say to
Oh,
the
yeah.
banker, yes.
Yeah. The banking has already got the brochure in the resource center, and this is recorded, so you can go watch it. But we're working on a banking. I don't want to say when and go, well, when's it going to be live? So right now, take it from this video. The script, the email has been put out multiple times on the Facebook page, but we're working on a little banking thing that is a training on how to use the brochure and how to use the coming video. But it might be a
Well,
couple weeks before that's live.
I had talked to several bankers, and I wish I had that information at the time. But I know a lot of bankers too, so it's good at practice.
Yeah,
And
Good
absolutely.
reason
I
to go
had
back
put,
in and talk to them again.
Yeah.
yes, no problem. I had put up in Baltimore City. You put a banner sign. It's really not legal, but people do it all the time, and you keep it generic. And you will get a lot of calls. I have done it in the past, but most of the time it's people who they don't have any money and they want $1 million. You ask how much money they make, $1,500 a month. So you'd be
Yeah.
basically wasting your time unless you're doing credit repair. That'd be good.
Well,
So
I
and
would
this
say
time,
this: if you need to be registered to do it, get registered, and then it's just like putting a billboard up. You're taking a risk.
yes,
You will take, you'll have traffic. So we've never taught
yes,
it because we've never done it. We only teach what we know works. And
right.
but I've often thought about doing a billboard or trying different things. I've done radio, TV, all the other things. None of them have worked. So I wouldn't know that a bandit sign would work. It's just so much cheaper. So we got a couple more. Any comments about the night's training? We got a couple more questions I see.
Yep. We got Joanne. Go ahead, Joanne. Or Joan. Let us know.
That was Joanne. You're correct.
Cool.
I enjoyed everything. Your approach is very personable, and I love it. I do have a question about funding, though. For businesses that are in construction or home investors, like they're investing in properties and stuff, do any of the platforms that you have, Giggle or Breezy, do they lend to people like that? Companies?
Well, the short answer is yes. but it's usually not the right source of funds. The reason being, we give money based on your current revenue.
Okay.
So if you're buying a piece of property that costs $1 million and a bank's going to take that property as collateral, they'll give you the $1 million because if you don't pay it, they take the property.
Right.
We only give a percentage of what you're doing in monthly revenue today, and you got to pay it back quick, 6 to 18 months, right? So it's not usually a good value to get 100,000 from us to buy a property, because you're going to have to pay back 130. And if you're doing that, it's a high risk industry. Market crashes, you lose money, no renters, and all of a sudden you're broke. You can't afford it, and the bank's broke anyway. It doesn't get paid back. So it's a high risk industry, and so it usually doesn't fit. But to answer your question, if you want to buy apple pies, if you want to buy umbrellas, if you want to buy a building, if you want to buy, we give revenue based on current revenue, because your current sales will pay it back. And hopefully what you buy will help you get more current sales. But your current sales are what we count on, and you're going to pay it back in 6 months to 18 months. So if it's a fit, it's a fit. If it's not, it's not.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then next we have Trey2 or TRE2. You can let us know your name so we can address you properly. But you can go ahead and unmute.
Hi, this is Tamara.
Hello, Kamara.
How are you? Just a quick question. Is there a flyer that lists all the links and resources that are available? Because I heard a lot of different links tonight that I didn't know before. So is there a one page that has all of them listed?
The getting started page and your welcome letter have all the links. The only thing that's not on there is the DAC leader mail list, but that is released in the agency expansion training, because we only want people clicking on it who've been through the agency expansion training and have that base knowledge.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Everything else is on your welcome letter and in the get started page of the resource center.
Good stuff. Next we have Carmen. Go ahead, Carmen.
I just wanted to comment. You said, does anybody have a comment? I always loved to hear you. You always energize me and make me feel so good and want to get out there and get everybody fired up like you are. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Appreciate it. Nice seeing you. See you on the future huddle.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
We got Willie. Go ahead, Willie.
One other question. I was wondering if can we have team members outside the U.S.? Is it the U.S. and Canada? And can we have customers in the U.S. and Canada?
It's primarily U.S. We've said U.S. and Canada. The problem is Relevate doesn't pay in Canada. We don't have many lenders in Canada. We get more declines than we get approvals up there. So we've even thought about closing Canada. We still taking out. We've got relationships starting with new lenders in Canada next week. At least we're exploring. So we're trying to create a better product. And right now our product's not real strong in Canada. So we haven't focused on recruiting there. If you go sign someone up, they can join in Canada, but they need to know that they should focus on United States clients until we bolster our Canadian lenders.
Wasn't imagining hearing things.
Good stuff. Appreciate the question. Let's see. And then we got Samsung. So just let us know your name so we can adjust you, but you can go ahead and unmute. Oh, you were there for a second, then it popped back. Might have double tapped it. Go ahead again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
hey guys,
clear.
My name is Daryl Ease. I'm coming back on like the other gentleman said a few minutes ago. I'm excited to come back. I have a question. I have a guy that or a business owner that has constant 700 scores, but the problem is he's an over leveraged guy, in my opinion, from what I've seen. And my question is there a way, do you guys frown on us helping him fill out the application for funding? I think he can still do some things, but I'm afraid if I just send him the link, which I am going to do, that he will mess up and say something that he doesn't need to say on there. And being that I've been in the lending space for probably 8 years myself, I like to be hands-on and make sure I help clients develop their applications properly for submission.
Yeah, I
So
would
do
say
you guys
this.
frown on that?
Yeah, I would say this. There's three-part questionnaire. One, over leveraged. He might be over leveraged according to a bank. His debt to income ratio may be real high, but he might be doing great revenue and have a good average daily balance, and his personal debt is over leveraged, but his business debt isn't. So,
Right.
I would say he should apply and see what kind of offer we get him. Number one, if he's got a good use of funds, if he's so tight financially, he's just trying to get money to pay his old bills and his
Right.
business isn't going to pay for it, then he shouldn't take the money, of course.
Sure.
That'd be a bad use of funds. Part one. Part two, do we frown on? Yes. In fact, you can't fill out the application
Okay.
for the client. But number three, you can sit with them and help them.
Okay.
And that's what I would encourage you to do is go over to their location and you're sitting with them. We track the computer that it's signed on. We know the IP address that it's signed on.
Awesome.
And it's all fraud if someone is filling out multiple applications from one office.
Sure.
It's only a minute before we say that website actually can't even access our page anymore because
Gotcha.
there's a risk of fraud. So go to this place, fill out the application with him, help him through it. But he's got to be honest. Otherwise, if he gets into a hard of course, you know this, I'm saying this for everyone else. If he's dishonest, and he could get nailed for fraud. So
Sure.
obviously make sure he's honest, but if you want to help him package everything and absolutely. And our team will talk to him too once he fills out the app and uploads his statements. Our
Okay.
first person's looking at it, Brad or Matthew. One of them is, or Wade, someone like that, Garrett, one of
Okay.
the others. They'll walk him through it and they won't put him in a bad situation.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome back, buddy.
Man, thank you for this cold weather you guys sent down here from Michigan. I'm in Alabama. Oh my God, it's freezing down here. It's crazy.
Got to balance it out, man. We can't just have everybody warm down here. I love it.
I
I love it. I
love
love it. We got one more hand up, and then I think we'll be bringing it home. So, another one. So we'll go with Valerie and then David. Valerie, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. So, can you hear me? You can hear me. So I'm just
Yes.
returning as well. Is it McGuire? Is that how you pronounce your name, McGuire?
Yes, McGuire. Yep.
Okay. Yes, I did get your email today, so I am going to rejoin. But I wanted to ask: is the majority of the funding MCA, or is there other funding available?
I'll take this, McGuire. I know you can take it, but MCA meaning merchant cash advance. Again, most of our funding are advances. Some people call them MCAs, but an MCA really is tied to your credit card sales. That's what a merchant cash advance is. We don't tie to the credit card sales, but it is an advance against your future sales. Some of our products are term loans, but 90 out of 100 of our deals are advances. And so you're doing 100,000 in sales, we'll give you 100 and we're going to advance you 100 against 125,000 of your future sales because we know your sales are going to come in. We're getting that. If sales go down, we got to lower the payment a little bit. Sales go up, we're not going to increase the payment. Merchant cash advance, if the sales go up, your payment goes up.
Okay.
Right? So, but some people call our industry a cash advance industry.
Okay, thank you.
So I wouldn't want to say we don't have that, but we don't have the credit card advance ones.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
All right.
No problem. Appreciate the question,
Welcome
Valerie.
back, Valerie.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. And then we'll end with David. Go ahead, David. David on David.
Yes, sir. Hi, Big Dave. Thank you for everything that you do for us with DAC, Bank Breezy, and McGuire. Man, holding it down in 305.
Keeping it alive.
Along the lines of what that gentleman was talking about, sitting there with the person and helping them out, fill it out. They're still filling it out, but the broker's helping them fill it out. What if, say, for instance, you were doing a Zoom call with them and you're watching them? Can you do it that way as well? Where you're okay, so that's
you can
okay.
help them. The key thing is they must fill it out and they must sign it. Whether you're sitting with them or walking them through step by step. I mean, it's an easy application, right? But if they feel more comfortable or you want to deliver that level of service, yes, but you do not get the bank statements. You don't collect anything. Just upload everything into the system and help them fill out the form. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the clarification because what I do is I just say, here's the information. You fill it out. let me know if you have any questions. So now we could even be more proactive, where we could be like, we could sit with you and help you, but you have to fill it out and you have to sign it, or we can walk you through it on the phone, or we could do it on a Zoom call. So there's other options that we can, help them with and stuff like that. So long as they're the ones filling out the app and they're the ones signing it and they're the ones, producing the bank statements and all the other documents that y'all need.
Yep. And I'll give an example. If you want to take your laptop to their restaurant, you can fill it out. They can fill it out on your laptop on their Wi-Fi. On their Wi-Fi. You want to make sure you're on their Wi-Fi, not yours. But it can be your computer, because your computer's logged into their internet. That's what we're tracking, is the IP address. But they need to fill it out. They need to sign it. And that's very important. But if you want to provide good customer service, because some people want to do it on their phone and you can't upload bank statements on your phone unless you know how to save a PDF onto your phone. It's not a photo, it's a PDF. So you can upload from a phone if you know how to save a PDF to your files on your phone. Most people don't. So a laptop or a computer is the best way to do an app.
Plus, it's a smaller screen, so you don't get like the full vision of the site with everything like that. And sometimes with the way you see the site on a phone as opposed to a laptop or a tablet, things might be laid out differently. And if you go in the wrong direction, it may mess everything up. So thank you so very much for the clarification.
You bet. Thank you.
Appreciate it, David. We have a few more hands up. Are you good to take a few more, David? Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I did see Morgan. I know she's one of ours in support with your hand up. So if you wanted to say some,
why don't we go to Morgan first in case it was a support question?
It was not a question. It was a comment. So I'll go last. You can go to everyone else first.
Got it.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Just want to
You're
make
going to bring us
sure.
home. She's going to bring us home. Yeah.
You're going to bring us on home. We got Deborah. Go ahead, Deborah.
Good evening. So my question is, are we going to learn any technical processes having to do with the computer, such as inputting a QR code or filling a form in with my business name and so on? Are we going to learn those types of things?
You're talking about on Tuesday?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm really just inviting it for a space that people can come, and that's obviously something involving with social media and documents. So absolutely, that'd be a great place we can go through that. I won't want to bog up too much time with people, but that's something that we could go through in less than a minute. So absolutely, bring that Tuesday and we'll get that knocked out.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Next up, we have Dr. Frankie Kelly. Go ahead. Send you one more to unmute.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
You got it.
Listen, I really appreciate the presentation tonight. This is the longest I've stayed on any presentation, I guarantee you. I'm even having my dinner late. But I really appreciate both of you for sharing this information. The first time I even saw it, I said, wow, this is great, because I retired as a banker at 37 and started humanitarian work, and never looked back. Even some of my colleagues wanted to know how I was able to do that. Well, that's a long story. I'm not going to get into that, but my question is this. I have assisted people in trying to determine what is the right product and fit for them. We've done peer business development, that sort of thing. And so kind of understand the process. Matter of fact, when I got in it, I'm dating myself. We didn't have the credit cards. We didn't have the digital systems.
Wallets.
Like that. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing. It's really, right on point. It's exactly what everybody needs. And it helps us now to really fund a lot of our projects and missions, which are local and international. Okay. Long statement. Short one is this. You might have already addressed this, but I've been trying to listen to you and get some food at the same time. I'm from Boston. Okay. Patriots town, championship town. Okay. Anyway,
Pistons. Go ahead.
Anyway, thank you for bearing with me. I have some broker revenue held up right now, and every time I go to try to retrieve it, it says that my social security number is incorrect, which I know is correct. Now, you might have already answered this question, but I might have missed it because I was going back and forth trying to get something to eat. So,
Okay.
Is there a quick answer in terms of how I can draw that? I'm certified, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're certified. You're saying you earned a commission, but when you went to get it at Relevate, there was an error code.
It's in the broker revenue, but I can't get it out. Every time I go to try to, it asks for my social security. I click it. It says your social security number is already in the system.
Okay, I would say reach out to Morgan tomorrow, and you can call her or email her, and she can look at it. We have some security measures in place because it's all auto pay. As you know, you've been in banking. So these are electronic payments we send to Relevate, and we list some things in there that must match at the bank because they're a bank. And so if they don't match, the money's sit until they match what we are telling them, your employee name, your employee social. So the social security number in our system might be different than what you filled out at Relevate.
Okay. All right. I'll check with that.
Yeah, check with Morgan, and we can find out what it is. And once you get it all cleaned up, it'll instantly be available.
For your information, I helped develop the kiosks and the ATM systems for the bank.
Nice.
ATM. You might know a thing or two.
That was technology, eh? ATMs took away tellers, and now people don't even use the ATMs as much because you can send it from your phone. It's amazing. Well, glad to have you. You know how we're helping clients, and let's continue.
Yeah, I'll be on, and I'll be referring a lot of people. As I said, this is just dynamite. I really appreciate you guys, and keep it up.
Well, thanks for staying on so long. Glad you enjoyed your dinner, and you may be championship town, but our Pistons took you down a couple times.
Well, look, we're in Florida too. We have a corporate office in Florida, and my school plays the Red Sox at spring training in Fort Myers. Look, I might invite you guys to come on me. Okay, how you like that?
Hey, come on, bring it on.
I pass by that stadium all the time. I know exactly what you're talking
about
too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got a family in Fort Myers, so I go by there. I see that stadium. I think I went to a spring training game for the Rays out there.
I'll connect with you because our school, two schools, BC and Northeastern plays, but we have the biggest spread. And again, it's on me. Okay, you don't have to pay for the ticket or anything like that. I'll take care of it.
Sounds like a reason for you to come down to Florida, sunny
it looks
Florida
like
today.
I got to come to Fort Myers. And by the way, Wade Cordell, our funding pro, he was a amazing baseball pitcher. He was actually drafted by the Phillies.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the Tommy John surgery didn't exist. He threw his shoulder out, so it ended his career. But I bet he'd like to take that mound anyway. I'd go yard on him. I'd totally go yard on him. Anyway, thank you, Dr. Frank. Let's go to Harlequin. We'll be seeing you in Fort Myers, I'm sure.
Oops, I accidentally. There you go. Hold on. I'm going to spotlight you, Harlequin. I lowered you instead of spotlighted you. I did the opposite.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Okay. Well, first off, fabulous job tonight to everybody on the team who was involved in it. And thank you for that. Lots of exciting things coming up, and I'm excited to hear about that. I do have to go back and watch part of it because I was in the middle of my Big Ten networking event that I was hosting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
Rutgers red. You're wearing your Rutgers red.
I am wearing my Rutgers red. Yes, most definitely. But anyways, and we had a bunch of Indiana people there, so they are super psyched. They're coming down to see McGuire.
Oh, I bet. I'll be waiting for him. I might even go.
Yeah. But my question is this: you were talking about people filling out applications from the same IP. I have a bunch of people on my team who are CPAs, bookkeepers, tax preparers, that their clients come in, meet with them. They already have everything on their computer. The client's still filling it out there. How will that be handled?
Won't be a problem as long as as you can imagine how it is, we start getting complaints. I didn't fill that out. I didn't understand
Gotcha.
what I signed. Then it'll be flagged.
Okay, I just wanted to
So,
make
yeah.
sure.
Yep. You remember, Harlequin, when we had the IP address search at application, and we've got a different server now. When Biddy, and we had Biddy doing that IP, and we'd say, do it at your phone. It's causing a problem because they were getting too many apps from one location. So we don't run it through that. We run it through something else, but we do track it. Every app
Okay.
comes in, we know the IP address. So we've got proof that the customer filled it out, etc. But yeah, no problem at all. They're professionals office. They're there with the customers.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Because I knew that that would be a question for a lot of people that are listening to this after the fact.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harlequin.
I think
As
we got
always,
one
we got
more
our last.
person before Morgan brings us home. Is that right?
Yep. Rosangela, you can go ahead. You're popular tonight.
I'm actually popular in my neighborhood and also New York because I wanted to bring up that my oldest daughter is autistic. I was autistic at the age of 27 and have not taken any form of medication and been studying since I was a kid to make a difference, because when I was a kid, from 1 all the way to 6, I was a mute. So I forced myself, and I had my family to push me to read and to
Thank God.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm actually bringing my children in, to my 2 oldest ones. One is 20. Well, my oldest daughter, she's about to be 20, the one that's autistic. And my 15-year-old, he's also wanting to study this. So I have my 2 oldest ones coming in. The reason why they want to come in. That's why I wanted to tell you guys.
Yep.
We have been dealing with ACS since I was 18. And because I trained them how to study how people move, how to study, how listen to everything they're saying, because in the future, you might have a job and you won't even know how or what they're doing. But if you study with the ACS system and you follow every rule, just follow me and look at me. Don't worry about any trauma.
Inspiration.
So now, now they're willing to work with me.
Well, beautiful. We're glad to have them on the team, and I would love to see them succeed with us and show the world, just like you're doing, that you can take something and learn how to use it as a gift and benefit from it. So thank you for the systems you're following and the leadership you're bringing your kids. You're inspiring other people watching, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you.
One last hand, and then we'll go with Morgan.
John,
We got
who's
John.
John?
Will be our last hand before Morgan. Oh,
one
saw
more
you pop up,
try.
then you went back muted. Yep. There
you are.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good, John. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I was wondering, do it matter for the Spanish program, like where you hired from? Like,
the brokers have to be in the United States. They have to have a tax ID number in the US. But if they're US citizens, have a US tax ID number, US corporate employee ID number, they may live in another country, like Matt DeHame and Nick DeHame, who are 2 of our superstars, live in Argentina, but they're from New York, New Jersey, and they've got social security numbers and they've got New Jersey addresses and bank accounts. So the answer is they got to be US based. So you can't get someone from outside the US to market our products.
okay, no, that's fine. I was just curious because I'm going to move to Asia, so I
Hey,
didn't know.
go for it. As long as while you're in Asia, just like Matt and Nick, you have a US tax ID number and we can pay you a bank account in the US through Relevate, then you're fine. You can access it anywhere in the world.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Thank
Problem,
you.
John.
Morgan, is it her time?
It's her time.
You guys have built me up quite a bit, so I don't know about all that.
Not gonna do a dance?
Closing out, yeah. We'll do it as a team, yeah. So I just wanted to say, I mean, on support, Sharon and I have been speaking with so many new brokers that have come on board this week and the last once we started marketing this call, and a lot returning. So I just want to say welcome to everyone. And if you've been here a while, you know that I don't speak up much. I'm not the speaker, that's these two, but I do have a lot to say about our integrity. And I just like to highlight that on calls like this. It's easy to have a really great product and still find ways to be just a little slimy. There's a lot going on out there. A lot of the people that we'll talk to, a lot of business owners you talk to have experienced a lot of that. And that's why you hear them mention so many times on this call that we come from a caring standpoint and we run this company with integrity. I've been here for 8 of the 10 years, 10 plus years now.
Wow.
And it just means a lot to me. And so I wanted to say that, and I wanted to welcome everyone. I'm looking forward to talking to more of you and seeing all of your success in March Madness. And then to you, David and McGuire, you guys kill it always. I love hearing you speak, especially together. So great job. And that's all I've got.
Wow. Thank you, Morgan. She's going to make you cry, McGuire. She is.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. I'm too tired
Yeah.
to cry.
Yeah.
I've
And-
got one word, everybody.
Oh, come on, Grandma.
One
This
word.
is my mom, everybody. Go on, Sharon. Jump in. What are you going to say?
Just one word, pride.
All right. Well, thank
Short,
you,
sweet,
Mama.
simple.
You're proud, is what you're saying? Thank you.
Yeah, lots of pride.
Well, we're proud of the business. We're proud that you're still working. You know, I was talking to Rob, who you worked with the other day, and he said, your mom is sharp. I said, I know. And he said, you're still working her? I said, I'm not working her. She's working me. We've worked together for almost 30 years, and she doesn't want to stop. And why would I have her stop? She's amazing. So thanks, Mom. Appreciate everything. All right, team. I think that brings our night home. No one else wants to comment. None of the other leaders want to jump on and say something. So let's bring us home. Morgan already did. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Mom. And McGuire, thanks for everything, bud. Tyler, for everything you did behind the scenes. McGuire, everything you did. Nick, making that video. Spot on job, helping us translate some things. Wade and funding team working on the Spanish site, getting the whole back office team ready to take those clients. Everyone who's been testing the chat bot. We've had a lot of things going on. The contest is going to be stellar. Get in the contest. Start today. Recruits, certified brokers, applications and fundings. You got a head start. You're here first. There's 7,000 active brokers and there's only 200 on right now. So there are 300 and something on today. That's all who know about the contest right now. So you've got a head start. Get after and take advantage of it. You could be winning it. And again, join that local leader and join the meeting next week. Tomorrow we'll be talking about all of this again at the 11:40 broker update and a brief thing and maybe some new stuff.